Good morning. I just want to check in with everybody today. See how you're doing. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Yeah, it was an intense week this last week. And I wanted to share a quick blurb that I had reconnected with. It was actually written by Erik Rittenberry in May of 2019. And the article is called "The Comfortable Life is Killing You." And I just feel like there's so much in this article that is being exacerbated now, given the situation that we're faced with COVID-19 and a lot of the unknowns. And so this is, I'm not going to read the whole article, but I do want to read part of it. So Erik Rittenberry is the author of this. And it says, despite existing in an era with the highest living standards in the history of mankind, despite having easy access to most of our material needs, recent polls have revealed that we modern people are miserable, angry, fearful, depressed, and riddled with anxiety, more so than ever before. Depression rates have been steadily rising in the US since the mid-1930s. Approximately 40 million American adults are said to have an anxiety disorder. Depression and suicide rates, especially among teens, have risen drastically with the rise of social media and smartphones. Over 600,000 children 5 and under are on some type of psychiatric drug in the US. I have to repeat that. Over 600,000 children 5 and under, they're not even in kindergarten yet, are on some type of psychiatric drug in the US, and opioid overdoses among American adults are out of control. The question must be asked, why? Why are so many people depressed in an era of infinite possibilities? Why are so many people prone to anxiety in the safest, most prosperous time in history? With endless potentialities to change and set our own destinies, why are so many of us bitter and angry and pummeled with an agonizing sense of meaninglessness? Freud defined depression as anger turned inwards. There's some truth to this for sure, but I think the great existential psychologist Rollo May defined it more accurately. Depression is the inability to construct a future. I'm going to repeat that. Depression is the inability to construct a future. And anxiety simply comes from, as Rollo May also points out, not being able to know the world you're in, not being able to orient yourself in your own existence. Repeating it again, anxiety simply comes from not being able to know the world you're in, not being able to orient yourself in your own existence. Even more in our face these last couple weeks as we attempt to reorient ourselves in a terrain that is unknown, without a map to know what terrain we're even looking at, what the next curve might show us as the terrain unfolds. The article further goes on to say, today many people are lost, disoriented, and bewildered in their own lives, and many believe they are incapable of building their own future. Many feel helpless, or in the words of satire, we feel the anguish of freedom. In other words, man is condemned to be free because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. I want you to just take a moment and be with that. This I think I can link the article, or I can upload a copy of the article in the comments below. It's a pretty powerful article, and I think that this points to, especially given the conditions of the world right now, the lack of ability to have a personal meaning-making map will allow people to get into a tailspin pretty easily. And, you know, in lower brain lockdown, not just social distancing and lockdown in your own home, but actually lower brain physiology lockdown, and fear and anguish and depression. And I'm afraid that we're going to see increasing levels of anxiety, depression, and suicide as we move forward, especially if this is a longer term issue than, you know, the next few weeks, which is, you know, it's already been pushed out a month longer than we had anticipated. So this is like really important things. Even if you feel like you're doing fine, you know, right now there are a lot of people in the world that are not doing fine. And a lot of my personal process this last week was navigating my sensitivity to the collective emotions. And I think I shared a week ago that it wasn't somebody I know personally, but it was a friend of a client's daughter, her classmate, committed suicide. And it's just, you know, we think it's not going to happen to people we know, or it's not going to happen, you know, in our close community, and yet it is happening. And when we are stripped of a meaning-making map, when we're not grounded in our own sense of worth and connection to values, and we have our own meaning-making map, then it's easy to feel helpless and hopeless. So, not to be all doom and gloom, but it is an important thing, especially on this day, even if you don't celebrate Easter, the symbology of spring, of Easter, of, you know, the rebirth, the flowers that are coming, the birds that are, you know, preparing their nests and, you know, preparing to have families. And there's just this resurgence of creative energy. And it's really important, I feel, to be able to tap into that. And if you find yourself at home right now during this time of social distancing, and if you're, you know, out of work, you know, take this time right now, tap into your creative energy, start defining the map that you want to live by, regardless of what's happening in the external world. We can still ground in our own sense of values and purpose. And there will be, I believe, there will be a lot of opportunities that will be showing up in ways as we move through this, to come together as community, to come together with a higher purpose, the higher purpose of global community, not just self-survival, but how do we recreate, or institute new systems, new structures that will support the greatest good for all. You know, that doesn't mean everybody's equal. I do believe in holarchy, which is different necessarily than hierarchy of one overpowering another. So holarchy is really important. So yeah, so I'm going to leave you with that for this little video. I'm going to be talking about integral theory in another video. So look back for that, and because that talks about how we develop through the stages of growth, of psychological evolutionary process growth. And that will help if we find that there's any areas in our spiral of development that are lacking, or that are weak, or that are unhealthy. We can go back and we can sort of clean up those areas, you know, shore them up, or, you know, put in new pylons so that it's a secure foundation, which is why I believe that this work is so important right now. You know, we've referenced it in other videos about the shift from horizontal evolution to vertical evolution, and vertical evolution it really connects to me with the process of looking at the stages of development, and creating healthy versions to the best of our ability in each of those stages. So sit with this information, process, like really be with what's showing up for you right now. You know, we are in an incredible time, and I believe that we will be stronger for it, and that there are incredible opportunities that are showing up, that will be showing up. as we move forward together. So blessings, lots and lots of love. I love you so much, and have a great day today. Love you.